Tim would never say that.
Yeah, I would never
unless
say
he
that
was
on.
prompted.
Hey guys, what's up? You've heard from Jack and Valens about our new roster. I'm Jamezirl, James McCauley. Come meet the guys.
All right.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tyson,
I'm
go.
TenZ. Tyson, no.
There you go.
That's it.
Wait, last team?
Last team?
Or have you ever played for a team before?
Bad News Bears, but not really.
Good stuff.
Yeah, he's going straight to C9. My nickname is Mixwell. I'm 23 years old. Full name Oscar Cañellas. It's hard for you guys. But yeah, I'm the Spanish guy, basically.
What's up, guys? You know who it is. Last team I played for, well, I've played for C9 for 3 years now, almost. And before that, I played for TSM.
Hi, I'm Daps, or Damien Steele. Last team I played on was Energy. And yeah, it was a pretty chill team. Now I'm on this team.
What's up, guys? I'm Koosta. I'm 23, and the last team I played for was Ghost.
I guess what led to this roster was we didn't make the minor, and that was really bad. We should have made the minor for sure. And after we didn't make it, we had already had some problems within the team in terms of like how people wanted to play, and it just didn't really click. I don't think we had like chemistry together. So after losing in the minor, we decided that we were going to disband pretty much, and Soham and C9, they also decided that they just wanted to rebuild from scratch. And I was at that point considering my options. But in the end, I decided to try out this roster with Damien. It's another fresh start for me, and over the past like 2 years, we've been starting over from scratch a lot. But this time I feel very confident with the team, and yeah, I'm excited for this.
So yeah, I guess sort of the way the roster initially started to form was when I was first replaced on Energy, I contacted Kenny first. And it wasn't necessarily for Cloud9. I was trying to build a team for other organizations initially. So Kenny was sort of like the first person I reached out to because I thought he was really good on Ghost, and I really wanted to play with him. And then there was like a lot of other options that sort of like were potentials, but then they sort of fell through, but I'm not going to go into details on that. And then Cloud9 sort of came out of nowhere after their recent performances. I was contacted, and they sort of let me. I didn't really get full control instantly, but they sort of just let me pitch my idea what I thought a good lineup would be. So obviously, I sort of tried to build for Cloud9, which then included Tim, and then I sort of reached out to other like players. I just sort of like when I build a team, I try and like create a pool of people for like roles, and then over that course of time, I sort of like sift through. I'll watch like players' demos and stuff, and I'll sort of try and figure out like if they're the right role, for example. And then Tyson's obviously a player that has really good stats. Obviously, he's not playing the best teams ever, but he's a player that shows a lot of promise and plays really well versus the level of opponents he's been able to play against. And when I watched his demos, I saw that there's very big similarities between him and like players like Breezy and Ethan and other players I played with that are sort of up and coming. So that was very promising for me. And then obviously Oscar, I played with Oscar like 3 years ago, and I already know that he's a super good opper, and he sort of fits like the play style like in an opper, like super aggressive, because I think that's how an opper should be. And I know Oscar knows what he wants to do, and I know how he likes to play. So I knew Oscar's like 100% like the type of player I'd want as the opper. And then James is a coach. I know James has like been putting a lot of hard work in his Ghost. And then in terms of like coaching options, James was the best option for sure for coaching. So I think overall this lineup has got a good mix of all roles. And then obviously Tim was just icing on the cake. He was just sort of there. and we got
Thanks,
him.
dude.
Yeah.
You didn't really want me. You just.
No, yeah. Tim
I
wasn't.
was just already.
Tim
there.
wasn't a part of the master
Oh,
plan,
okay.
but he was sort of the final piece to the puzzle,
Alright.
in my opinion. So that's sort of how it like all came together.
Great final piece.
Yeah.
So you're saying you had control? I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, it was more so like working with Soham initially.
Yeah.
Because Soham was like my initial point of contact. Yeah, it was sort of just like me working with Soham and then sort of figuring out, you know, if I am like I wasn't 100% going to join Cloud9, there was other organizations that gave me good opportunities as well or full control. Obviously, I can't say them, but yeah, Soham sort of like enticed me to go more towards like the Cloud9 route for sure.
So since I wasn't a part of your initial plan, was Soham the one that convinced you that I could be on the team?
I mean, he didn't really like. Obviously, I'd want to play with you if I could.
All right, that's what I want to do.
No, yeah,
You can stop there.
All right.
I mean, I also said that I wanted to play with you. I'm guessing everyone here wanted to play with you.
Thanks, guys.
I had
Yeah,
the
I feel so good about
almighty Tim
myself.
Ta,
All right,
major winner.
we can just stop the interview here. This is all we came for.
Yeah. I'm excited. Like, being like fresh blood and like coming into Cloud9 is like without like any real prior experiences, kind of like crazy. But I'm gonna like put in as much work as I have to be at the top.
I would say like just keep like the youthful exuberance of playing. Don't let like where it like what team you're on make any pressure of it. You know what I'm saying? So just a little word of advice. However
Yeah, it's
that might affect
definitely-
you.
If you're like, because like obviously Cloud9 has a huge fan base, and that was something like Oscar and I had to get used to when we were on Optic, because obviously like if you have a huge fan base, fans are more vocal. So you just sort of have to like take that into account too. Because like if you lose matches, people usually be really mad, and then if you win matches, people are like there's positives and negatives to it, and you sort of have to like learn how to deal with that too. But yeah, I definitely like James said, it's like even though you're playing for like a big brand or whatever, you shouldn't let it like get to your head, especially early on.
Just keep headshotting. We're just gonna send you in, and you just kill everyone.
Yeah.
I'm back in NA, and I've played with Daps before. The first team I've played for in NA it was Optic Gaming. He picked me up from a Spanish team. We played in a tournament in Barcelona, ESL Expo Invitational. We played against Fnatic, which was the best team in the world. And I had a great match there. We played Dignitas as well. We lost 16-14. Both matches were close, and I had luck. And Daps asked to the HLTV CEO which players were the better upcoming players in Europe, and he had an interview with me. I talked with him, and I ended up hyping them up. I talked with him. He wanted to make sure how was my mindset and my English. It got much better from being here. It wasn't as good as now, and I really enjoyed playing in NA. I think fans are great. Are really they are really supportive. In Europe, people are different, I would say. And Optic Gaming in general was a huge experience for me. No one knew me before, and now everyone knows me thanks to that, and thanks to Daps as well, who contacted me again to play together. He gave me another chance, and now playing for Cloud9. I had a few chances to play for Cloud9 before, and I've never accepted because of other stuff. I wanted to play at home. I went back to Spain to form a national roster because we never had a good one, and we didn't accomplish what I thought we would accomplish. So now I'm back to tier 1, and I'm glad to be here again.
No, I'm happy to have Kenny again on the team because I always thought he was a great player. I know he hates to get complimented, but it's the truth. Like Oscar played with him for the first time yesterday and was like, "Kenny, you have sick aim." And the funniest part is like Kenny had his monitor because of me on 144 hertz at the beginning and didn't even know. And then remember the
Jeez.
first scrim, he was ripping
that's
people.
brutal. Yeah.
So funny, and then he changes it and like does it again on 240. So I'm happy to have Kenny on the team again. happy to be a part of it. Everyone here is obviously super smart and really good player. So, yeah. I don't know how long we're all going to like live in the same place together, but I think like the beginning of that, like just like being co-located in the beginning is really important.
Yeah, it's definitely, in terms of every team I've ever been on, like definitely like the reason we got so good so fast on energy with Ethan at least was we all lived together, and you sort of like, because the problem I find with teams that like start online is you'll sort of, if you have like arguments or people don't get along and then you're trying to resolve those conflicts online only, then it can be more toxic and less genuine when you're trying to like resolve things. So if you're in person, it's less likely to get toxic, I feel. And that's really big in my opinion, because that sort of like keeps the team environment good.
Yeah.
And you're at least able to like know how someone actually feels about something, rather than, you know, they just like disappear off TeamSpeak online and you don't know if they're like hate you or something. So I think definitely at the start of a team, it's good to like gauge how everyone like works with each other, and then just sort of like go from there and see how it
Especially
transpires later on.
in this team, I think this is a shy team, in my opinion. There's players that are really shy, so it's important to be together so we can know each other better. Online, I don't think we would have known each other at all.
Yeah.
From what I've experienced the first day, all of you are good people, but you are shy.
Oh man, I came down to say hi to you on the first day.
Yeah, it's
remember?
true.
It was
You
awkward
did.
as fuck, but I still came down.
Yeah, it was awkward. But at least you did. That's
I feel like it's just because it's the first day though. Like, I feel like people will be more opinionative when we start like actually going and people know each other.
Yeah. I think culture it's different. I'm guessing, like in Spain, it's much different. People are so open, and
Yeah.
in NA in general, people are. Yeah, they don't trust.
No, people definitely. Most players I've played with like to avoid conflict as
Yeah.
much as they can. Yeah, but it's good to like. It's really good to make sure you're like communicating how you feel, because things will never get fixed if you're not honest with people, and then if you're not honest, then that's when like Steam messaging behind people's back starts happening, and then that's like what kills teams.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I agree.
So as long as like that's avoided, and there's a lot of players in NA that are known for that. I won't say any names, but you know who you are.
I'm not an actor.
No one's an actor.
Come on, TenZ. I feel
Oh
like you'd be pretty
God.
good at this.
Hey, you
Say
gotta
like you're in an anime.
Hey, Tyson, you gotta prepare for that TV interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get some more words out of you here. All right, you gotta prompt James.
Huh?
Yeah.
How many days until Blast LA?
Horrible. I'm not going off of that.
What the hell?
Let's take it
Just
like
do
this.
it, Tim.
That
You
we
did it
have
right.
let's take it like the fact that it takes the pressure off, knowing that like, you know, we're going into it and we only have a short period of time, so we're just gonna play our game, right? It's like we know we don't have a ton of time to prepare, so it's like we know we can't be fully thoroughly prepared, so we kind of have to play just like a certain generalized style, right? We're just gonna get our feet wet, get a tournament, and get like the jimmies out early. So I think in total we have 8 to 10 days of practice, depending on if we take any off days, which is still kind of up in the air. So yeah, I think from now we have 9 calendar days until Blast, right? Because it's on the 13th. It's the first day.
10th.
12th.
We have to leave on Wednesday, I think.
Oh, we have to leave on Wednesday?
At the hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have scrim scheduled on that Thursday. I think they have computers at the hotel, right?
I'm not sure.
They should.
Yeah.
Blast always has practice rooms
do you
at the
guys-
hotel.
How do you guys feel about you know, when we're practicing among other teams and you're like,
TV.
do the liquid, or you know, like how you call strats, like the names of strats after teams. We were laughing about that at one tournament where there's like the practice area and then all the other teams are there and they could like hear us
Yeah.
like, do a straw of smoke. It's just-
Like the vice is standing behind you.
yeah. Can you play Zipex? Like,
No, I think on Energy we had an Astrala strat on every map. We would name strats after teams that didn't even do the strat just because it was easy for us. Like we would just call like strats SK, and they never did the strat ever. It would just like make it easy for us. I don't know. That's how we named things.
Yeah.
I
think
guess
it's
it's
good to
kind of
have-
inefficient, but
A tiered, themed naming system.
yeah, I guess it did kind of make sense. it was just like people. I mean, like I guess it's not the best. It could confuse people, I guess.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much, right? Because it's just attaching some kind of like symbol to a pattern. So it's like it really doesn't matter because it's hard to have generalized names for strats, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not like a conceptual thing that like you can attach to all different types of strats. So you kind of do have to name them something that doesn't make sense at the end of the day. A lot of the time. Like how would you talk about that one setup on Mirage close to your ramp where somebody's holding with an AWP and then there's somebody closer with an M4? Like it's hard to know like what you would call that isn't just some kind of unrelated name.
Yeah, it's easy just to say like a player name or something like that.
Oh, we had great names on Ghost.
On T side Mirage we ran out of team names because we had like 18 strats on T side Mirage and we started naming them after like Monopoly board spaces and stuff. Because we played Monopoly a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like one of our strats is called St. Charles. So for the teams we're gonna play at Blast LA, it's Renegades, Liquid,
FaZe,
MIBR, and
NRG.
Energy.
So it starts with Liquid, and then it's MIBR, and then it's FaZe, Renegades, and then NRG, I think is the order.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I want to beat Energy, because, like, that would just be an embarrassment if they lost to me this fast with, like, 5 days of practice. So, like, they, like, can't lose that match. And then I'm honestly excited to play all the teams because it sort of gauges where we're at. Obviously, it's, like, really hard to prepare 6 or 7 maps within. You're essentially like preparing a map a day, and we're playing teams that all have their cores for like 2 years or more. So it's definitely gonna be a huge challenge, but I think we'll be able to take a map or two off people for sure. Obviously, like Liquid and Energy are the best teams at the LAN by far, but maybe outside of the other teams, I think we have a pretty good chance.
I think so too. I think we can take one map or two, maybe more. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's best of ones, and like if we start well, like we all know how to play, so it could go anyway.
So I had an interesting thought about that. Is like, what do you think it is about, like, if you had to break it down in like a small chunk that makes a team that's been together for a while more likely to win than a team that's new, even if they're composed of relatively similarly quality players? Right. So like, what does it do? What type of situations does a team that's been together for a while excel in that a team that hasn't been together for a while not excel in? Like, what do you think?
Well, definitely a team that's been together for a long time is able to come back from a deficit a lot easier. Like if our team goes down like 7-0, it's gonna be a really tough match to win. But for a new team, if you start off well, then you can win the match. I think. I mean, obviously we could still win if we're losing by a lot, but we'll have like way less protocols and like little things in place to sort of like grind back into the match. So I think if we start poorly in matches and like don't win pistol and don't win first gun round, it'll be really hard to come back because we're going to have like less things to go to. Whereas a team that's been together for...
So grim.
Well, no. It's true.
Well, the money system is kind of. Have you noticed though, since in the last few months, that the money system pushes halves towards like almost like parity?
Yeah,
like, it's really annoying. Like if you start off well in a half and you like aren't winning rounds with 4 or 5 alive, it just ends up like going towards like the other team catching up by the end of the first half. It's almost kind of like annoying to watch.
The economy plays a part. I just more so meant like, for like, let's say the main things we've practiced going into the LAN aren't working, then we're not going to have, because we don't like get to scrim that much before Blast, right? So we're going to have less like reps on like certain things. Yeah.
We don't know how people play under pressure.
Yeah.
It's much different. If people change the way they play because they are under pressure, it's going to be tough. But it's the first line, so we need that experience to get better. I just think that we have to play with a lot of disrespect.
Yeah, that's
just to see how we can play, like find our style. And if we do that, I don't care if we lose or win because it's the first tournament. I just want to see how are we moving from there.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like Kenny didn't talk enough.
Thank you for your support.
Okay, our first matches are at Blast LA, so hope you're looking forward to that and tune in.
Do you know who I am? I am the best player this game has ever seen. I am strong, fast, agile, fearless. I'm becoming immune to pressure, toxicity. This is not about the size of my muscles. It's all about the size of my will. I am the best player this game has ever seen. Just not yet.